And we're back. Thanks for joining me again in another Adobe Illustrator tutorial. And this time, we're actually not doing a brand new tutorial. We're revisiting a tutorial and adding to it. This is going to be an addition to the pencil tutorial. Now, the last time we spoke about the pencil tutorial, we talked about the pencil itself and the options that came with it, as well as the differences between the old pencil tool and the new pencil tool and the updated versions of Adobe Illustrator. Now, functionality is pretty much identical, but you have different options in the new versus the old. I'm not going to go into that because we covered that in our previous tutorial, which you can go back and you can look for that in the original pencil tutorial. This one will be part 2, and this one will cover the additional tools that work with the pencil tool. So let's get started. If you grab your pencil tool, it is in the second column, 5th row down in the double column format, or in single column format, it's the 10th icon down. You grab that tool and you'll notice that if you use it on stage, on your artboard, you pretty much can create things with fills, or just, let's do strokes by themselves. Either way, it works for both, fills and strokes. Now, when you have these, you may want to edit these particular options. Again, I said I'm not going to go into the actual pencil itself, but the tools that are under the pencil in the submenu. So if you were to hold down the pencil tool, you're going to notice there's the smooth tool and the path eraser tool. And these are pretty much self-explanatory, but what we're going to do is start with the smooth tool. And if you look at the line, I have some jagged points here, but what if I wanted to make these smoother? And you'll notice I have a little circle here. I can click and drag out to round these points out to make them more curved. When I do that to a selected object, you'll notice that it starts to create curves around those paths in the form of an arc that I'm sweeping over that edge. So you have to basically hit these anchor points to make these change so that it curves properly. It's fairly easy to use. It's almost like brushing or erasing something that has paint, where you keep dragging your paintbrush over it to smudge it. And you think of it in that manner, and then you can manipulate the line how you want. So that's what you would do with the smooth tool. Now, if you were to double click that tool, you can actually change it from more accurate to more smooth in terms of how it's responding to those curves and those lines. All right, same way that you would do it if you had the pencil tool selected. You would go into the options, double click, and you could change that from accurate to smooth. Okay, so that's how you would actually use the smooth tool. Now, if we were to go down, we have the path eraser tool. Now, this is in essence similar to how for the pen tool you might delete anchor points. But the good thing about the path eraser tool is you can pretty much just rub over a path, and it's upside down. It looks like the opposite of the pencil tool because we're using the eraser end. And then you can get rid of the anchor points that you want by dragging over that path. So it will click and erase all of the anchor points that you want. It's fairly simple. You just have to be aware of where you're dragging the actual eraser. Again, don't get confused and think you're using the tip of it, because as you can see, it's coming from the eraser portion and not from the actual lead portion of the pencil tool. Okay, so really quick, let's go over it again. We have this. Let's make another shape. Let's hold down the Alt key to get some sharp edges. And we're going to select everything but this one, delete it off, select this one now, and we're going to enlarge it. Maybe not that large, but big enough where we can see it on stage in our artboard. So, okay, now we have our shape. Now we're going to go review real quick. We're going to go to the smooth tool. And remember, this is for making rounded edges. So if there are edges on your art that you want to round out or make smoother, this is the tool you would use to do that. All right, and if you want to erase parts of your path, then you would select the path eraser tool, and you would get rid of the endpoints that you want to be removed, and it will keep that shape. Okay, so we just went over the smooth tool and the path eraser tool, and these are going to be uh, additions to the pencil tutorial so that you understand that's what they function with. Although you can use them, let's say you have a shape that you've created with the pen tool, you can use these tools with that. Like, let's go to the smooth tool, and you can adjust those as well. It doesn't matter that it was created with the pencil tool, but they are associated with it. And same thing for the path eraser tool. And you can get rid of things like that. Okay, so take this, combine it with the pencil tutorial or the pen tutorial or even the brush tutorial, and then utilize these skills to further your techniques when using any of those tools themselves. Okay, so stay tuned. I'm going to come up with some more tutorials really soon, and I hope you'll join me again. I look forward to seeing you.